So the title of this video is a bit of a lie because I've been going to Little Free Libraries for the past year, and these are the books I picked up that I'm going to keep in my library for at least the foreseeable future. So, Little Free Libraries, it could be a bit of a crapshoot, but every once in a while you find something that's good and that you want to keep. So these are the 10 books I've gotten in the past year that are worth keeping. So actually the first Little Free Library, the first time I stumbled upon one, this book was in there, a second Hunger Games. It's a pretty good read. And I remember at the time I was just in like a reading rut, and I found this book in a Little Free Library. I had already read it, but I reread it, and it was really good. It felt good. It was just getting to be warm outside again. So, it was a good omen for Little Free Libraries. Second book that's a keeper is The Great Gatsby. So this is a nice summer feel to it. It's set in the summer, and I'll probably reread it again in the summer, maybe this summer or next summer at some point, depending on how things go. The next book is Incendiary by Chris Cleave, and I didn't know whether this book would be good or not, but I gave it a shot, and I thought he just nailed the main character. It was very well done, and I could just picture the main character like out there in the real world. This is a collection of short stories by Stuart Dybek called I Sailed with Magellan. So I probably wouldn't reread this book as a whole, but there are certain short stories in here, certain stories, that I really liked, and I probably reread at some point. The Third Policeman by Flann O'Brien. So the beginning and the end of this book I think are really good. I'm not sure I would reread the whole thing, but the beginning and ending, I want to be able to reread those at any point that I want to. The Known World by Edward P. Jones. So this book, I believe, won a Pulitzer Prize in fiction. It had an interesting premise. The premise is an African American in America that owns slaves. So I thought that was interesting and made me start reading, but I feel like the book had structural issues. It had consistency issues, but it's still worth keeping and flipping through. I probably won't reread it all, but it's a keeper, I guess. Shane by Jack Schaefer. The main character was cool. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say, but it's short, so I would probably reread this if I didn't really have anything else to read at the time. Flowers for Algernon. So, this is a pretty well-known book. So, it was actually it was originally written as a short story. I think I might have read it in school, but I would want to I would want to find the short story version and read it. This as a novel, I felt like it had some issues. It wasn't good all the way throughout. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This, I mean, it's just worth keeping. It's kind of, I feel like 1984 is a better version of this book. I don't have 1984, but if I had it, maybe I wouldn't want to keep this book. Then the last one is Into the Wild by Jon Krakauer, which is also pretty popular. I don't know if I would reread this book entirely, but there's a lot of parts that I would want to reread. So yeah, those are the 10 books over the past year that I've gotten from Little Free Libraries that I'm gonna be keeping in my own personal library. And yeah, I don't know, I just felt like making a video about books. I feel like I have a lot of stuff to say about books and Little Free Libraries, so if you thought this video was good, or you have a question, leave it in the comments. And maybe one day I'll make another video about books. So thanks for watching.